Right now, massive AI data centers are devouring the world's memory supply. That sheer volume of demand is driving severe price spikes and wild volatility across the entire RAM market. Because of that market strain, building or upgrading a PC today means you are forced to navigate a maze of highly technical spec sheets just to make sure you aren't wasting your budget. You get to the checkout page and the anxiety hits. Should you buy DDR4 or pay the premium for DDR5? Do you actually need 32 gigabytes or is 16 enough? And is it safe to just mix a new memory stick with your old ones? Tech marketing thrives on a very specific trap here. They want you to assume that buying a newer generation or a higher capacity stick automatically gives you a faster computer. Falling for that assumption costs you. You will either underbuy and severely bottleneck your entire system, or you will overspend by hundreds of dollars on memory your computer will never even touch. Navigating this market effectively requires looking at the principle of diminishing returns in PC hardware. Upgrading your RAM only provides value up to the exact threshold of your specific daily workload. Every gigabyte you buy past that point is a complete waste of money. Let's look at capacity. 8 gigabytes is the absolute minimum baseline you can buy today. It allows a computer to boot up, run basic office software, and browse the web, but the immediate trade-off is severe. Modern programs like Google Chrome will consume those 8 gigabytes almost instantly, which strictly limits your ability to open more than a couple of apps at once without the system freezing. Moving up to 16 gigabytes creates the current optimal baseline. It gives standard users and AAA gamers enough breathing room to run their software smoothly. This chart plots your hardware cost against in-game FPS. Hitting this 16 gigabyte threshold allows your system to reach its maximum possible frames per second for standard games without forcing you to overspend. Notice how the performance abruptly flatlines right at that limit. The trap of over-equipping happens right here. If a game requires 12 gigabytes to run and you play it on a 32 gigabyte system, you get absolutely zero additional FPS compared to playing it on a 16 gigabyte system. You only need 32 gigabytes for specific heavy workloads, compiling code for programming, running engineering simulations, rendering 4K video, or streaming live while playing a demanding game. Unutilized RAM gives you zero passive speed boost. It only acts as required headroom so you can run multiple heavy applications at the exact same time. Capacity is only half the equation. The physical configuration of your memory, specifically dual-channel technology, is the most critical factor for actual system responsiveness. This model shows exactly why. Moving your data simultaneously through 2 separate room sticks drastically increases speed compared to forcing all that data through a single higher capacity stick. This dual-channel setup is especially crucial if you use integrated graphics. Because your CPU doesn't have its own dedicated VRAM, it has to rely on your system's RAM to render visuals, making that parallel speed essential. Because of how this works, there is a strict, non-negotiable rule for upgrades. Always buy matching pairs, and never mix different speeds or different brands. If you install 2 sticks with different speeds, your motherboard's automatic failsafe kicks in. It will immediately throttle all your RAM down to match the speed of the weakest stick. Mixing brands introduces physical risks. Different manufacturers use different memory chips and internal electrical circuits, which leads directly to random data errors and hard system crashes. Correctly configuring a matching pair delivers full performance without additional cost. Improperly mixing sticks actively sabotages your own hardware. Now we have to choose between the actual generation types, DDR4 and DDR5. To make this choice, it helps to look at history. Older RAM generations were frequently held back, not by the hardware itself, but by the bloated operating systems they were forced to run on. For example, early DDR1 memory ran hot and was prone to freezing. But as you can see from this launch presentation, it had to exist alongside Windows Millennium Edition, a notoriously unstable operating system that made those hardware crashes much worse. The pattern repeated a few years later. The raw speed improvements of DDR3 were completely smothered because computers had to dedicate massive resources to rendering the heavy, transparent interface of Windows Vista, shown here on its retail box. DDR4 ended this cycle of software bottlenecks. It coexists perfectly with modern software, making it highly stable, widely compatible, and still fully capable of handling AAA gaming today. DDR5 is the cutting-edge alternative.
It is specifically designed to push past 6,000 MHz, and it uses error-correcting code directly on the chip to find and fix small data mistakes during long workloads. But those features come with massive trade-offs. DDR5 carries a high price premium, and it strictly requires you to buy a newer, highly expensive compatible motherboard. Right now, DDR4 represents the pinnacle of cost-to-performance value. DDR5 is strictly an investment for buyers who need to achieve the highest possible performance ceiling. This decision matrix maps out exactly what you should buy. The first step is to identify your primary computing use case. Let's start with the first branch, the pragmatic upgrader and standard gamer. If this is you, 16 GB of DDR4 is the most cost-effective choice. It will flawlessly handle 95% of your daily tasks without wasting a cent. Moving to the second branch, the creator and heavy multitasker. For this group, 32 GB is the strict minimum. You need that capacity to prevent your system from crashing during 4K video editing or live streaming. Finally, we look at the third branch, the performance chaser building a brand new, high-budget system. DDR5 is the necessary choice here. It provides raw processing speed, error correction, and guarantees motherboard compatibility for future upgrades. Regardless of which path you take, one universal rule applies across the board. Always buy your sticks in matching pairs to enable dual-channel bandwidth, and never mix them. A truly fast computer isn't built by falling for the spec sheet trap. It is built by accurately identifying your real-world workflow and precisely matching your hardware investments to meet it.